Futures trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Content provided in this segment is meant for educational purposes and is not a solicitation to buy or sell commodities.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk. It is June 1st, 2023. Dairy month, baby.
Dairy month.
Dairy month.
How is it on the dairy, by the way? How's it going on the... Sorry, I interrupted you. You're introducing yourself, even though everybody knows who you are.
Honestly, I don't even think we have to introduce ourselves anymore. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows who you are.
They know.
How is the dairy at home, by the way? What's going on there?
We're doing good, man. We could use a little rain. It's a little hot right now. We could use some precipitation, but hopefully...
Weren't you just looking out the window right now? There is some rain coming in hot?
Yes. No, it was just a cloud. It's not raining.
Just a cloud.
Just a cloud. Kind of tricked me.
One cloud. That's it. That's all you get.
I think everybody in the Midwest is looking for a little rain right now.
Grass is pretty dry. It's a little brown grass. When was the last time you mowed your lawn?
Dude, it's probably been a week and a half because, like you said, it's brown. It doesn't need it.
So are you mowing your neighbor's lawn too? You remember in the winter you were talking about shoveling people's driveways and stuff? You mowing lawn?
No, I have not. They can figure it out themselves.
Just that summer, that's it. And
that's it. I'm done.
Snow will do it. Mowing lawns, that's where I draw the line. All right. Speaking of drawing lines,
here we go.
Talk chart.
These all came at request, by the way. We got 4 charts at request.
That's right. You had to say that. I forgot about that. So this is soybeans. Which one? Who requested this one?
Jen.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it, Jen. What do you think of beans here, Cody? What's going on? This is one of your favorite things.
Nov beans. Did we get a little bit of a turnaround today? A little turnaround action?
It's starting to kind of look that way, huh? I mean, so I guess the only thing that bothers me about a potential turnaround here is that, so this candle right here, so you would normally call this bad boy a hammer, right?
Yep.
There. So I really blew it up there for a second, but that's what I was looking for right there. So that one is characterized as a hammer. So I guess when you think about, that's just the way the pattern itself is called, but
it looks like a hammer. Right? All right.
Yeah, actually it does. So, it's just characterized by, because you settled well off the lows, right? But if it were to be a bullish reversal at the end of a downtrend, you'd want it to be green, right? So this basically says that the close was still lower than the open. Ideally, you'd want the close to be higher than the open, so and you think about it, just broke hard, settled well off the lows, and then closed higher in the day, right? So that's typically a bullish reversal. That's the only thing that bothers me about this. I hear what you're saying, but it's also, I'd want that candle to be green. That said, what I think is also interesting here too is you look at the relative strength down at the bottom, got below the blue, that's oversold territory.
Yep.
Right. So once it gets in there, if you're short, that's kind of a danger, it's starting to get a little oversold here and crossing back past the blue again. So you're going to have this little dip. That's a buying indicator. So it got into oversold territory and is now coming back.
And now what about the very last candle that we have, the green candle engulfing all of, what would it be? Tuesday's trade there. Is that any kind of a formation after that hammer also?
Yeah, no, I hear. That's a tough one, like I said, because it's, I think that would be a lot more, I guess, telling if that hammer was green, but it's not. So I think if you wanted to own it, you got to be, first of all, if you're short, you got to be really careful here because you had like I said, the RSI poked into oversold and then came back. That's a bullish indicator, right? So I think if momentum shifted back into positive territory, so this top one went from negative to cross zero, I think that would be another big indicator that you'd want to be at least out of shorts. And I think too, if you're looking to find a spot to find a reason to own it, so to speak, or find a spot where you'd want to start getting long, right there, $12. That was a lot of resistance there.
Yep.
Right. And so especially if we went back there in a hurry, it's going to have this almost miniature V bottom. But if you crossed that $12 threshold, you'd leave a lot of selling behind. You'd also be, you'd have gone into oversold territory and back out again. Momentum would probably be above zero at that point. And, you'd leave a lot of selling behind. So I don't know if I want to own it just yet. I guess if I was short, I'd want to be out.
So you want to see if we get up through a lot of that chop that we had going on there the past week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah. I think you can buy it with a lot more confidence. If we closed over, $12, now all of a sudden, again, that momentum will be over zero, and we'll be you'll basically leave most of May's trade behind. And so then you start talking about, this thing, I think you can argue the trend started right there, right? Now you're talking about retracing 1242. By the way, if we got up in there, that would be up against a major downtrend. If you closed above that, it could start to get dicey.
Right.
So, like I said, some of these indicators are certainly pointing to it's oversold, and you probably want to be looking to get out, or if you're short, buy calls or do something to that effect. But I'd want to see it close over $12 if I was short, flipped, and want to get long, kind of thing.
Okay.
You planting beans, by the way? What are you doing?
Nope, no bean planting for us right now. I know other people are, but no bean planting for us. Just
what
corn.
are you planting in your backyard? I mean, you got like basil going or something like that? Or
There's a guy in the backyard that does plant corn and soybeans half and half over here in the field. I mean, not obviously in the same row. Split the field in half because I do live out kind of in the country-ish. So, yeah, they were putting that in the ground, finishing up corn yesterday, and now just hoping for a little bit of rain to get everything going.
What's country-ish?
Wow, I mean, when you say I live near Grand Rapids, Allendale, it's not necessarily like the country, right? I still have neighbors, I still have people across the road, but in the backyard, there is a field back there, so we'll call that country-ish.
All right, fair enough.
Ish.
So Cody's country-ish, not fully country. He's planting basil. I don't know, are there basil futures? Maybe we can launch one.
We should try it.
Let's hear in D's basil. Let's hear in the Christmas basil. All right, so we have another one that came at request. It was from Jen again, right?
Yep, a twofer.
Twofer from Jen, crude oil. So this one looks a lot more friendly.
Yes.
Right, I know in beans we talked about getting out of shorts if you were short, but this one I feel like is more where you can take a shot at being a little long.
A lot of support down here. A lot of support.
So let's just do this real fast. You had this noise that failed to get tested. The last time it tried to test that same noise, it was promptly rejected. Just in the same day, too.
Yeah.
Right? And then it looked like it was trying to break down again and was promptly rejected. That's an outside day, right? And so you have basically the open and the close completely engulfed. It's engulfed.
Yeah.
So ipso facto, I think there's a lot of support there. And what I think is really interesting here too is that, so another way to look at some of these indicators, if you look at the RSI down at the bottom, is they tend to sometimes have their own like chart patterns within themselves, which is like a chart within a chart within a chart. I guess my point is that it's exhibiting a higher low, right? And so if you look at right there, that's that low.
Yep. It
took a shot at getting back into oversold territory and is failing to test that again, right? And so it's putting in a higher low on the indicator. That, you're getting some bullish confirmation just from that pattern within the indicator itself. So between, the support here, the failure to break here, and then the engulfing here, I mean, it looks like it's got a shot again to $74. I don't know. How much does it cost to fill up the truck?
A lot. Well, that's the other thing. I know this isn't the technical side, but now you're getting into, the big holiday season was behind us. For Memorial Day, you're getting into summer. Kids are out of school. People are traveling, doing the summer vacations. I know that's not on the technical chart side of it, but usually a good time when a lot of these fuel prices, gas prices tend to take a little bit of a jump, right?
Take a little bit of a jumper. Yeah. You make a good point, right? I mean, you're probably traveling places to go get some ice cream and stuff like that. I mean, you're not just sitting at home. I mean, it's hot out.
Right. Exactly. The hotter it gets, the more people want their ice cream. Yeah, and they're going to travel for it.
Who walks to go get ice cream?
They're going to travel for it. Exactly.
So, yeah, no, I think this candle here, these two right here, you completely engulfed yesterday's trade. You have the confirmation down here, right? I think it's got the ability to go test. It's like 74, right? I mean, $74 is a price the market also doesn't seem to like very much.
Right.
Right. It was once support, became resistance. It becomes somewhat of a magnet in terms of price. And so, yeah, I mean, that looks like you can get back to $74. What do you do then? Make sure you fill up your gas tank today.
Exactly.
Not in like 3 or 4 days. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. This next one came at request. Well, they all came at requests.
They did. This one came from our good buddy Mark in Michigan. And this is a spread. And I don't know if you and I have ever actually looked at a spread before.
Once looked at this one before. Ever.
Never.
And if we have, I don't remember. So sorry if we have.
No, same.
So all right, run us through this one.
So this is going to be the Kansas City Chicago wheat spread, which
Got it.
I mean, you kind of have marked on there. But like I said, we've never done a spread before. This one's going to be an interesting little look at to it.
So in order to get this on the chart, I took the price of Kansas City wheat for July and subtracted Chicago wheat for July.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you the difference between the two.
Right.
This thing just went crazy. Look at this.
Yeah.
What is that, a whole dollar? It's $1.20 from here to here. It, like, I guess if you just look, I don't really know anything about the fundamentals here. I'm not going to pretend to. To me, this looks weak. It looks weak. And it looks like, at the very least, it wants to go and test kind of where it started to break, like where it started to initially break down from. It's also a point, too, where the market really started to accelerate. It's not that far away. It's like another 20 cents a bushel. But this looks weak. I mean, you had a complete rejection here, and then you engulfed it here. And then this is like the best that the bulls can do in response to a pretty substantial break pretty quickly. Is this little guy right here? No Gouda.
See, I was actually going to go on the opposite side of that. I was going to say the past 3 days. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it kind of looks like the beginning of an M formation going on here.
Okay, so you're thinking. Okay, so you're thinking.
If you look at the past 3 days of trading, you have a low of 187. The next day, 187 quarter. Today, 186. Right? It just seems like we can't break through that 187, 186 type number to get the follow through that we need. Now, tomorrow's Friday. Obviously, I could be taken aback by this one, but it just seems like we have another little rally in our pocket here.
I agree. No, I don't agree. Sorry. Kind of pulled him ahead a moment there. Had a little bit of a stroke. That's okay.
It's all right.
I don't agree. This looks weak right here. I think it's just somewhat of a continue. I think these last 3 days, including this little guy right there, is a continuation, and the next leg will be down. So we have a little. This is how trades happen, though. You have disagreements.
Right. We're going to write this one down.
All right. So let's say we do. You're thinking that we go back up to like 250, 240,
255. Yeah.
double nickel.
Yep.
All right. And you think that's going to happen like turnaround this Tuesday or something like that, right? You think we're just going to rock and roll like real soon?
Now, I don't know if we quite take off like we had before when we really started to break up this market out, but I think it's going to look similar to that. I don't think we're going to piddle around here at 195 for very much longer, right? It's either going to be a rally or we're going to break pretty hard like you were talking. It's going to be one or the other. I just don't see us sitting still for very long.
Yeah. No, I agree with. Sitting still, like this does not look like a chart that wants to just consolidate.
Right.
I think we're seeing some consolidation right now, which I think will ultimately lead to another leg down. I guess we'll see. This is going to get dicey.
Dude.
This is just a wicked chart. Do you know what happened here? Like fundamentally, do you happen to have any like news?
No, on this one, I have no idea. I have no clue fundamentally.
Maybe this is something that will be discussed in the next grain video.
Yeah.
Or Jay, like all those cats, right? I mean, like this is a pretty wicked chart in terms of price action, because you go back and look. I mean, it wasn't doing a whole lot.
Right.
It was bouncing around, but then all of a sudden, bam, it just takes off. So, yeah. Well, here's another thought. Is this wave 4? 1.
Oh.
2. Wave 3 is always the biggest. Wave 4 retraces a significant amount of it. And then wave 5 is usually, some sort of exhaustion move where you usually take wave 1 and add it up there. But an exhaustion move that would take us into new highs on it, and you'd see open interest decline.
Interesting.
I don't think this is what's happening. That's my opinion. Like I think we just come down altogether.
Yeah.
That's another little piece there that just kind of got thrown in the mix.
Yeah.
But I guess you're kind of thinking along these lines, though.
Right. I just didn't think it was going to exhaust past 255.
Yeah, like you're thinking more like right here.
Yes, exactly. And then from there, kind of peter off as we get into the summer months and so on and so forth.
So Cody, M, and bear. I guess we're both bearish.
Yeah. I'm just bearish
According
long term.
According to you, you're going to be able to sell it better.
That's right.
All right, fair enough. All right, so we got and what day is today? Let's just label that one too. So
it's 1st of June.
That's right. I forgot about that. 6/1.
It's dairy month.
2023. Dairy month. Probably should capitalize dairy, huh? All right. We got it. Bam. You're thinking M. I'm thinking it's just going to roll over. No M. Paige is saying Elliott wave. She was messaging me in our chat here. She said Elliott wave. She's by the way, she's the real wizard here. I mean, we're just like the front people. So
the real MVP.
Yeah, the real MVP is Paige. She's just slinging the charts in the background. So, all right, last one.
Last but not least, one that you called to just about a T, might I add. Props to you, my
I
friend.
haven't touched anything. Not a thing. I
Props
just
to
moved
you.
the label. That's it. I just moved the label. John Billington in our office. We call him Bilbo. Hope he's watching right here. Feeders taking off. This is ridiculous. This move. It's just like so. Okay, let's talk about what we like.
Now, let me replay what had happened. If you go back to the beginning of May, what Andy had said, where we had that big down day, where you started to draw the downward formation right there. He said if we get to about $2, $2.30, we are going to continue to the fifth wave of the Elliott wave theory, where you have it drawn up to 247, my friend. Where did we get to today?
Today's close 247.85. Nope, that was a high. Sorry. Close 247 is about 475.
Come on,
what's
man.
going to happen? So I think what we need to be watching here is what is open interest doing today for today's trade. Yesterday's trade. What am I talking about? I keep thinking today's Monday. Yeah. The last couple of days, I think we need to go back and take a look at what open interest did. Because theoretically, if we are in the exhaustion point of this trend, the open interest should be declining. Meaning, you're like buyers of, those that are short are getting out by buying, and those that are long are getting out into those that are buying to get out by selling to them.
And if we are in the exhaustion phase of this right now, we should see this market starting to roll over here pretty soon, right?
So what you would see is another Elliott wave down.
Down. Okay.
Correct. And it shouldn't, theoretically, encompass all of this move, right? You're not just if we did do that, you wouldn't retrace 100% of the move. It would be a retracement stair step down. So, yeah, if I was long, I'd want to be. It played out, and now it's again, especially if open interest is breaking. But this is a signal that you're getting this. This is a big candle.
Yeah,
right here. Right, that's
we had a massive jump today. Massive jump.
It's aggressive price action after a substantial rally.
Yeah.
So, if I was long, I'd want to be getting out. If you're long and you want to stay long, I'd buy puts. I'd be doing something. I don't think I'd sell calls here either.
No.
If I was long futures, I don't think I'd sell calls because, again, you sell an option, the most you're going to make is a premium you collect. But if you start to roll over on this.
Well, I go to a monthly chart real quick. You're talking about prices that we haven't seen since going back to 2014, 2015.
Oh,
right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of the same thing that we saw going back into there, right? And then we promptly made an M formation and broke extremely hard. So could the same kind of thing be happening right now?
Could be. Here's another one too. I'm glad you brought up the monthly because the RSI it crossed into overbought territory a while ago though. So that's not a sell indicator. It's just kind of like a warning sign that things are getting overbought. And that if this would be a major, I think this would be a major tell. If this thing crossed back into it crossed back over.
Yeah.
That would be an indication to get short. So yeah, the chart's definitely looking like you want to be liquidating longs. I would not be adding to longs here.
Right. Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't be adding, but yeah, this is looking like you want to be considering liquidating any longs or hedging them off. So,
well, props to you, my friend.
By the way, you got any beef?
Yeah. A little bit. And this one, I just want to give props to you though. This one played out to a T, just like you had said. Wham bam.
Well, we'll see. Is John Billington, is he going to give, are we going to get a kudo? We're trying to get him on the show, by the way. Right. He said no today, but,
our good friend, our good colleague, John Billington, we're trying to get him on here.
On the show.
Yep.
We also got to get Jaskol back on the show. If you recall from the previous episode in January or something of 2022, he said, we asked him when you coming back on the show, and he said, yeah, I'll see you in 2023. Hang on, let me check. Is it 2023?
Just about the middle of the year.
Yeah, 2020. It's 2023. So we gotta get Jaskol back on the show, but one step at a time.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for another episode of Tack Talk for Andy and myself. But before we go, we want to remind everyone that it is June, 1st of June, which is Dairy Month. The Ever.Ag Insights team is offering a free trial to some of our world-class publications. Check them out in the link in the description of this video for more details. Go get your free publications. They're great reading materials. But until next time, everybody have a great week. Hope you get some rain. We'll talk to you soon.
We need some rain. Could use it.